Hello students, I am going to discuss the topic friction under the chapter laws of motion. Laws of motion, and here we are going to see about some of forces commonly discussed forces in mechanics, branch of physics, and then we are going to see about friction. What is the friction? The different kinds of friction. How we are going to define the static friction, kinetic friction, and rolling friction. And hence we are going to see about coefficient of friction between the surfaces. And also we are going to see about the force, that is centripetal force. What is the centripetal force? Some common examples for this centripetal force, where we are going to see the centripetal force, and about banked roads. In the banked road or in a curvy road, how we are going to see about the equation for the maximum velocity that is permitted for a vehicle that is to cross that curvy road. These things we are going to discuss under the topic here. It is laws of motion. And initially, to start with, we are going to say about laws of motion. Under this topic, we are going to see about the main topic, that is friction. And to start with our discussion, we are going to see about some common forces in mechanics. What are the common forces? ಹೇಳಿದ್ರೆ ನಾರ್ಮಲಿ ನಾವು ಯೂಸ್ ಮಾಡುವಂಥದ್ದು ಅಥವಾ ನಾರ್ಮಲಿ ಹೇಳುವಂಥ ಕೆಲವೊಂದು ಫೋರ್ಸಸ್ ಮೆಕ್ಯಾನಿಕ್ಸ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಇರುತ್ತೆ. ಯಾವ್ದೆಲ್ಲ ಫೋರ್ಸ್ ಅನ್ನು ನಾವು ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಡಿಸ್ಕಸ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೇವೆ ಅದರ ಬಗ್ಗೆ ಹೇಳ್ತೀನಿ ಇಲ್ಲಿಗೆ. The first force that are commonly used, that is known as gravitational force. I think already we are discussed about this gravitational force under the first topic, that is physical one. There we are going to say about different fundamental forces or the basic forces. It is a gravitational force, electrostatic force, weak nuclear force, and strong nuclear force. And here we are going to see in mechanics there is a gravitational force, which is the weakest force that acts between the two bodies which are separated by a certain distance. ಯಾವುದೇ ಒಂದು ಎರಡು ಬಾಡಿಯನ್ನ ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ ಡಿಸ್ಟೆನ್ಸ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಇಟ್ಟಾಗ there is some force is going to act, and that force is known as gravitational force. And we can see there is an example here. That is a gravitational force between the planets and Earth. Due to that gravitational force, what you can say? These planets are going to revolve around the sun. ಸೂರ್ಯನ ಸುತ್ತ ಬೇರೆ ಬೇರೆ ಗ್ರಹಗಳು ತಿರುಗಲಿಕ್ಕೆ ಒಂದು ಫೋರ್ಸ್ ರಿಕ್ವೈರ್ ಆಗಿರುತ್ತೆ, ಬಲ ರಿಕ್ವೈರ್ ಆಗಿರುತ್ತೆ. ಯಾವ ಫೋರ್ಸ್ that will help here? There is a gravitational force. If it is, you are going to consider another example. That is, moon is going to rotate around Earth, or satellites are going to move around Earth. That is in a circular path. And for the motion of these different different satellites, artificial satellite maybe, or it is a moon like a satellite. For the revolution of these planets, for the revolution of these different satellites, there is some force is going to act that will help, and that force is nothing but gravitational force. And due to this gravitational force, we are going to see the weight of the body. That is, whenever a body is placed over Earth's surface or over the other object, at the time that body is attracted towards the center of the Earth, and that force, gravitational force, with which the body is attracted towards the center of the earth is known as a gravitational force. Or it is known as a weight, and this weight is due to this gravitational force. This is one of the commonly used force in mechanics. The next force that is known as a spring force. What is this spring force? There is a force which is going to develop in a spring which is compressed or which is extended. ಯಾವುದೊಂದು ಸ್ಪ್ರಿಂಗ್ ಅನ್ನು ನಾವು ಕಂಪ್ರೆಸ್ ಮಾಡಿದಾಗ ಅಥವಾ ಸ್ಟ್ರೆಚ್ ಮಾಡಿದಾಗ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿದ್ರೆ ಎಕ್ಸ್ಟೆಂಡ್ ಮಾಡಿದಾಗ ಅದರ ಲೆಂತ್ ಅನ್ನ ಜಾಸ್ತಿ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೇನೆ ಅಥವಾ ಲೆಂತ್ ಅನ್ನ ಕಡಿಮೆ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೇನೆ. ಕಂಪ್ರೆಸ್ ಮಾಡೋದು ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿದ್ರೆ ಲೆಂತ್ ಅನ್ನ ಡಿಕ್ರೀಸ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೇನೆ. ಎಕ್ಸ್ಟೆಂಡ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇರ್ತೇನೆ. ಎಕ್ಸ್ಟೆಂಡ್ ಮಾಡೋದು ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿದ್ರೆ ಲೆಂತ್ ಅನ್ನ ಇನ್ಕ್ರೀಸ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೇನೆ. At that time, what happens there is some force is going to develop inside that spring, and that force is known as a spring force. That is a force which is going to develop in a spring when it is compressed or when it is extended. That is known as a spring force. Now we can see that one also in the diagram here. Now in the first spring, what we are going to see here, that is in the normal state. There is no extra load that is attached here. And in the second spring, what happens there is some load is attached. Due to this load, what happens there, the length of this spring is going to increase. That means due to the external force which is acting here, the body or the spring length is going to increase. In the third diagram also, we are going to add more force or the more load is added. At that time, what happens there? More amount of increase in the length we are going to observe. And hence we are going to say there is some force is going to develop inside this spring. If it is, we are going to remove this external force or the external load. At that time, what happens there? That spring comes back to the original state. ಈ ಲೋಡ್ ಅನ್ನು ನಾವು ತೆಗೆದಾಗ ಏನಾಗುತ್ತೆ, ಆ ಬಾಡಿ ಅನ್ನುವಂಥದ್ದು ಮತ್ತೆ ಪುನಃ ಒರಿಜಿನಲ್ ಸ್ಟೇಟ್ ಗೆ ಬರುತ್ತೆ. That means there is some force that is present inside this spring that will help that spring to come back to the original state. Means we are going to say there is some force is developed inside the spring when it is extended. That force which is going to develop in the spring when it is extended, the same result we are going to observe if it is the spring is compressed also. How much force that is going to develop inside the spring is known as a spring force. And this spring force is given by the formula F is equal to spring force. F is equal to minus of K into X. What is this K? K is known as a spring constant, and X is the extension, how much it is going to produce, or the compression, how much it is going to produce there, how much length is going to increase. ಎಷ್ಟು ಲೆಂತ್ ಇನ್ಕ್ರೀಸ್ ಆಗಿದೆ ಅಥವಾ ಡಿಸ್ಪ್ಲೇಸ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಆಗಿದೆ ಈ ಲೋಡ್ ಅನ್ನುವಂಥದ್ದು ಅದನ್ನ ಎಕ್ಸ್ ಇಂದ ಸೂಚಿಸ್ತೇವೆ ಇಲ್ಲಿಗೆ. And the force which is going to develop inside the spring, that is known as a spring force. And this negative sign is going to indicate the displacement, and the spring force are in the opposite direction. That means the increase of the length, how much it is going to take place there, that is in the downward we are going to observe. The increase of the length, that is in the downward direction. This is the direction of this X displacement. At the same time, inside this spring, there is some force is going to develop there, and this force which is going to develop inside the spring such a way that it is in the upward direction. The directions are opposite for this force and the displacement or increase of the length there, and hence we are going to get here a negative sign. This is another force we are going to discuss in mechanics. The next force which is known as a tension. What is this tension? That is the force which is going to develop, or it is restoring force which is going to develop in a wire or in a smaller, that is in a wire, there is some force that is going to develop when we are going to extend that wire, or when you are going to apply some external force to that wire. That type of force is known as a tension. It is a restoring force developed in a wire, that is known as a tension. And we can see with the help of the diagram here, there are two objects, that is one is of 5 kg, another one is of 3 kg, that are connected with the help of a wire, and that wire is passed over the pulley. So that what happens then, along the wire, there is some force is going to develop. There is some force is going to develop. And this force which is going to develop in a wire is known as a tension. ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಎಷ್ಟು ಫೋರ್ಸ್ ಡೆವಲಪ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ, ಯಾಕಾಗಿ ಫೋರ್ಸ್ ಡೆವಲಪ್ ಆಯಿತು, ಸಿನ್ಸ್ ದೇರ್ ಇಸ್ ಸಮ್ ಎಕ್ಸ್ಟೆನ್ಷನ್ ಇಸ್ ಗೋಯಿಂಗ್ ಟು ಪ್ರೊಡ್ಯೂಸ್ ಇನ್ ಎ ವೈರ್, ಲೆಂತ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಇನ್ಕ್ರೀಸ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ ಡ್ಯೂ ಟು ದಿಸ್ ಟು ಫೋರ್ಸಸ್ ವಿಚ್ ಆರ್ acting, or due to these two masses which are attached here. And how much force that is going to develop inside this wire is known as a tension. The other diagram we can see by which we can explain about the tension. There are two persons are going to pull a wire that is in the opposite direction. Opposite side direction ಏನು ಮಾಡ್ತಿದ್ದಾರೆ, ಆ ವೈರ್ ಅನ್ನ ಲೆಂತ್ ಅನ್ನು ಇನ್ಕ್ರೀಸ್ ಮಾಡಲಿಕ್ಕೆ ಪ್ರಯತ್ನ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದಾರೆ. That means what happens there is some force going to develop inside this wire. ಈ ವೈರ್ ಒಂದು ಫೋರ್ಸ್ ಡೆವಲಪ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. ಯಾವ ಫೋರ್ಸ್ ಅಂತ ಕರಿತೇವೆ, ಅದನ್ನ ಟೆನ್ಷನ್ ಅಂತ ಕರಿತೇವೆ. That is the restoring force which is produced in a wire, which is known as a tension. This is another commonly used force in mechanics. Along with this one, we are going to see another force which is known as the contact force. What is the contact force? The force which is going to act between the two surfaces which are in contact. ಯಾವುದೇ ಒಂದು ಬಾಡಿ ಆಗಿರಬಹುದು, ಯಾವುದೇ pair of bodies ಆಗಿರಬಹುದು, if it is there is some contact is present, what happens there? There is some force is going to develop, or there is some force is going to present. That is, even though you are going to say there is the two objects that are the solid bodies, you are going to have, there is a table over which you are going to place a book. One table unto adara mele ಒಂದು book ಅನ್ನು ಇಟ್ಟಿದ್ದೀರಾ. There is a contact between the book and the table. Means we are going to say there is some force is present between those two bodies which are in contact, and that force is nothing but the contact force. If it is you are going to place a solid material in a liquid, once again we are going to say there is some force is present. Okay, liquid ಮತ್ತೆ ಆ solid body ಅನ್ನುವಂಥದ್ದು ಕಾಂಟ್ಯಾಕ್ಟ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಉಂಟು. For that reason there is some force is going to develop, and that force is nothing but the contact force. Another pair, if I am going to consider, that is gas and solid, or air and solid. Once again, the air particles are in contact with the solid material. Once again, there is some force is going to develop, and that force is nothing but the contact force. Solid ನಡುವೆ ಆಗಿರಬಹುದು, solid liquid ಆಗಿರಬಹುದು, or it may be a solid gas ಆಗಿರಬಹುದು. If it is there is some contact is present between the pair of the objects, there is some force is going to develop, and that force is known as a contact force. ನಾವು contact force ಅಂತ ಕರಿತೇವೆ. The different types of contact force we are going to see. The first one that is known as a friction. Friction, that is in detail we are going to discuss later. Friction is one type of contact force which is going to act between the two solids. If it is you are going to consider the book is placed over the table, there is some contact is present, and hence what happens there is some force is going to act between the book and the table, and that force is nothing but the contact force, and that contact force is nothing but the frictional force here. It is simply we are going to call this one as a friction. And another an example here we can see, and here we are going to have there is a bureau which is placed over the solid surface, a person going to push that bureau, so that what happens there, there is some force is going to develop in between the surface of bureau and the surface over which we are going to place that bureau. That means a floor agide, a floor ಮೇಲೆ bureau ಇಟ್ಟಿದ್ದೀರಾ, and ಆ bureau ಅನ್ನ displace ಮಾಡಲಿಕ್ಕೆ ಏನು ಮಾಡ್ತಿದ್ದಾರೆ, just a person is going to push that bureau. At that time what happens there is some contact force is going to act between the two surfaces which are in contact, and that contact force is nothing but the frictional force, or it is a friction. And it is the horizontal component of the contact force. The frictional force is a horizontal component of the frictional force. How to say that one? If it is, you are going to consider there are two surfaces which are placed such a way that they are in contact. Let us say there is an object is placed like this way. One surface is placed like this way, over which we are going to see there is an object is placed. ಇದರ ಮೇಲೆ ಒಂದು object ಅನ್ನು ಇಟ್ಟಿದ್ದೇನೆ. There is an object is placed. There is some contact is present, and hence there is some contact force is going to act there. And let us say here that contact force is going to act along the direction like this way. ಇದರ contact force act ಆಗ್ತಾ ಉಂಟು ಅಂತ ನಾನು ಎಣಿಸ್ಕೊಳ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೇನೆ. ನನಗೆ ಗೊತ್ತಿಲ್ಲ ಯಾವ ಡೈರೆಕ್ಷನ್ ಆಕ್ಟ್ ಆಗ್ತಾ ಉಂಟು ಅಂತ. Let us imagine this is the direction along which that contact force is acting. Now this contact force can be resolved. ನನಗೆ ಆ ಕಾಂಟ್ಯಾಕ್ಟ್ ಫೋರ್ಸ್ ಅನ್ನ ಸ್ಪ್ಲಿಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ಲಿಕ್ಕೆ ಆಗತ್ತೆ, ರಿಸಾಲ್ವ್ ಮಾಡ್ಲಿಕ್ಕೆ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ along the two directions. That is along the horizontal direction, is resolved along the horizontal direction and in the vertical direction. And this vertical component of this contact force is known as a normal reaction, whereas the horizontal component of the contact force is known as a frictional force, or it is known as a friction. And now friction anta kariteve. And hence how can I say about the friction? It is the horizontal component of the contact force which is going to avoid the movement of the object over the surface. Even though you are going to apply some force, what happens that the body is not going to move there due to the action of this friction. This is one type of contact force. Other force that is known as a viscous force. What is this viscous force? There is a force which is going to act between the layers of the liquid. That means even though you are going to say solid material ಆಗಿರಬಹುದು, liquid material ಆಗಿರಬಹುದು, between the liquid particle there is some force is going to act there, and that force is known as a viscous force. Between the different layers of the liquid there is a force is going to act. For example, when we are going to pour the water now ಚೊಲ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೇನೆ over the surface, ನಿಧಾನಕ್ಕೆ ಬೀಳಿಸ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೇನೆ. At the time what happens there, water spreads quickly over the surface. ಅದೇ ಮತ್ತೊಂದು ಬೀಕರಲ್ಲಿ ಆಯಿಲ್ ಅನ್ನು ತಗೊಂಡಿದ್ದೇನೆ, ಆಯಿಲ್ ಅನ್ನು ಕೂಡ ಏನ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೇನೆ, ಸರ್ಫೇಸ್ ಮೇಲೆ ಬಿಡಿಸ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೇನೆ. So that what happens there, oil will take certain time interval, that is spread over a certain region. ಗ್ಲಿಸರಿನ್ ಆಗಿರ್ಬೋದು, ಹನಿ ಜೇನುತುಪ್ಪ ಆಗಿರ್ಬೋದು, ಒಂದು ಪ್ಲೇಟಿಗೆ ಸುರಿದಾಗ it will take certain time interval, that is to spread over certain surface. Means between the different layers of the oil or honey there is a force is going to act, and that force is nothing but the viscous force. And hence you are going to say oil, glycerin like oil, or it may be honey, they are more viscous. Water is less viscous. The next other type of force, contact force, that is known as a air resistance. Air resistance, that means between the air and solid material there is some force is going to act there which will oppose the motion of the object. It is known as the air resistance. For example, here a person is diving in atmosphere, so that due to the gravitational force what happens that he falls down, but at the same time there is some force is going to act over this person that is in the upward direction, that is nothing but the air resistance. Atmospheric particles, they are going to restrict the fall of that person here. The other kind of force, and also we can see the example like this way for the air resistance. When you are going to switch off the fan, rotating fan stops after some time. Ceiling fan ಆಫ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರೆ ಏನಾಗುತ್ತೆ, ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ ಹೊತ್ತಾದ್ಮೇಲೆ ಆ ಫ್ಯಾನ್ ಅನ್ನುವಂಥದ್ದು ನಿಲ್ತದೆ. That means there is some force is going to act between the wings and the air particle there, and that force is nothing but the air resistance. The other force which acts between contact force which acts between the liquid and the solid, which is known as a buoyant force. And here we can see some diagrams by which we can say about the buoyant force. It is when we are going to strike the stick in air and in water. It is difficult to move the stick in water. Why? It is these water particles that opposes the motion, and hence you are going to say there is some force is going to act between that water particle and this solid material stick. That force is nothing but the buoyant force. And also we can see in the second diagram here, it is when we try to immerse the solid material in a water. What happens then? It is difficult to push that solid material. If it is the solid material has less weight when you are going to compare with the displaced mass there, and hence what happens then? There is some force is going to act over this solid, and this force which is going to act here, that is in the upward direction, and this force which is going to act contact force there, which is in the upward direction, which is known as a buoyant force. These are the different types of the contact force that we are going to study in mechanics. And next thing here we are going to see about only the friction. ಇದರ ಬಗ್ಗೆ ಎಲ್ಲ ನೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ ಮುಂದಿನ ಚಾಪ್ಟರ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ನಾವು ಕಲಿತೇವೆ. ಈಗ ಮುಂದಿನ ಡಿಸ್ಕಸ್ ಇನ್ ದಿಸ್ ಟಾಪಿಕ್ ದಟ್ ಈಸ್ ಅಬೌಟ್ the friction only. Then what is the friction? How can I say about the friction? What are the different types of the friction? The friction, before going to say about this friction, we can see some examples. There is a football is moving over a floor. Floor ಮೇಲೆ ಒಂದು football move ಆಗ್ತಾ ಉಂಟು. And in another example, we are going to see there is a rider, bicycle rider, who is going to ride the bicycle, cycle ಅನ್ನು ಬಿಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದಾನೆ, and he is going to pedal for some time, and then afterwards just he is going to leave the pedaling ಮಾಡ್ತಿಲ್ಲ, ನಿಂತ್ಕೊಂಡಿದ್ದಾನೆ, ಹಾಗೆ ಕಾಲನ್ನು ಇಟ್ಕೊಂಡಿದ್ದಾನೆ. So that what happens there, in both the cases we are going to observe the football is going to move in the forward direction for certain time or for certain distance, and then it will stops. And here also the bicycle is going to move for some distance, and then it stops. For the further movement, once again you have to pedal it. Means what happens there? There is some force is going to act between the surfaces which are in contact. ಯಾವ surface alla contact ಉಂಟು? There is a floor and football. The two solids are in contact. And here also the wheel of a bicycle and the road surface which are in contact. Once the two surfaces are in contact, what happens there? There is some force is going to develop. And that force which is going to develop here between the two bodies, that is a solid materials which are in contact, that is nothing but friction. Due to this friction, what happens there? That football comes to the state of the rest after traveling to a certain distance. ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ distance travel ಆದ್ಮೇಲೆ ಸ್ಟಾಪ್ ಆಗತ್ತೆ. ಅದೇ ತರ AC ಕೂಡ ಸ್ಟಾಪ್ ಆಗತ್ತೆ, ಟೂ ವೀಲರ್ ಕೂಡ ಸ್ಟಾಪ್ ಆಗತ್ತೆ. Even though you are going to, if it is, you are not going to accelerate, at the time what happens there? That body comes to the state of the rest there. due to the action of the frictional force. And hence we are going to say the definition for the friction. What is this a friction? How it is defined? It is the property by virtue of which an opposing force is generated between the two surfaces in contact, and which is going to oppose the relative motion between the two surfaces. It is a property of the two bodies. Due to that reason, what happens there is some opposing force is generated when the two bodies are in contact. ಎರಡು ಬಾಡಿ ಕಾಂಟ್ಯಾಕ್ಟ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಉಂಟು, ಆವಾಗ ಒಂದು ಅಪೋಸಿಂಗ್ ಫೋರ್ಸ್ ಜನರೇಟ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. ಅಂಡ್ ಡ್ಯೂ ಟು ದಿಸ್ ಅಪೋಸಿಂಗ್ ಫೋರ್ಸ್ ವಾಟ್ ಹ್ಯಾಪನ್ಸ್ ದೇರ್ ದ ರಿಲೇಟಿವ್ ಮೋಷನ್, ಒಂದಕ್ಕೆ ಒಂದು ಸಂಬಂಧಿಸಿದಂತೆ ಆ ಮೋಷನ್ ನಾವು ಏನು ಕರೀತಿದ್ದೇವೆ, ಮೂವ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಅನ್ನು ಏನು ಹೇಳ್ತಿದ್ದೇವೆ, ದಟ್ ರಿಲೇಟಿವ್ ಮೋಷನ್ ಈಸ್ ಗೋಯಿಂಗ್ ಟು ಸ್ಟಾಪ್ ದೇರ್, or it is going to opposed by the frictional force or by the friction. And that property is known as the friction. Here we are going to see some examples once again. There is a bureau over the floor. The man is going to push that bureau so that what happens there is a applied force in the forward direction. At the same time, there is some frictional force is going to act between the two surfaces which are in contact, that is in the opposite direction to the applied force. At the same time, what happens there is some weight of the body which is going to act towards the center of the earth, and which equalizes the normal force or the normal reaction. Totally, there are four forces which are acting over the body, so that we can say the body may be in the state of the rest, or it is in the state of the motion there. When it will be in the state of motion, that we are going to say later. ಈಗ ನಾವು ಜಸ್ಟ್ ಏನ್ ಹೇಳ್ತಿದ್ದೇವೆ, ಒಂದು ಫೋರ್ಸ್ ಅನ್ನುವಂಥ ಡೆವಲಪ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ when you are going to apply the external force. ಇಲ್ಲಿ external force apply ಮಾಡಲಿಲ್ಲ ಅಂತ ಆಗಿದ್ರೆ there is no relative motion between those two bodies there, and hence what happens there is no frictional force or the friction that is going to develop here. Another and this frictional force that is due to the microscopic field of the object there. Object and contact bandirutte with another surface there, and as it is in the contact at the time, if we are going to say a small portion of that region, it is actually with the naked eye, what we are going to say, the surfaces are smooth, but actually the surfaces are not so much smooth. ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ ರಫ್ ಸರ್ಫೇಸ್ ಆಗಿರುತ್ತೆ. And due to this rough surface or rough surface, there is some opposing force that is going to develop there, and that opposing force is nothing but friction, and which opposes the relative motion between the two surfaces. And the force which is going to develop between the two surfaces which are in contact, which opposes the relative motion, is known as the frictional force. Frictional force ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿದ್ರೆ ಏನು, ಹೇಗೆ ಡಿಫೈನ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೇವೆ? The force which opposes the relative motion between the two bodies, which is known as the frictional force. ನಾವು frictional force ಅಂತ ಕರೀತೇವೆ. The force which opposes the relative motion between the two bodies which are in contact. Once again, with the help of the diagram, we can see there are two bodies which are in contact here, and there is some external force, pushing force, that is going to act over the body, so that that body is going to move in the forward direction. At the same time, in between the contact, there is some force is going to develop in the opposite direction to the motion, and that force is nothing but friction. It is known as a frictional force, and which is going to oppose the relative motion between the two bodies here. And these frictional forces are of a different type, or the friction is of different types. The first one is known as the static friction. The first force is known as a static friction or static frictional force. It is if it is the two bodies which are in contact and there is some external force is going to act, so that what happens that bodies cannot move from its original position. Up to a just a movement, we are going to say there is some force is going to act between the two bodies, so that what happens there is some frictional force is going to act there. That body is or that force is known as a static friction. That means it is a friction which keeps the body at rest when the force is going to act over the surface. That force is known as the static friction. The other frictional force or the friction is known as the kinetic friction. The two bodies is known as a kinetic friction. The two bodies are in contact. There is some force is going to act over the body such a way that there is a frictional or there is some movement we are going to observe, or that body is going to move with the constant speed. Once again, there is some contact is present. Due to that contact, what happens there? There is some force is going to develop between the two bodies there, and that force is known as a kinetic friction. Once again, we are going to see later. The other friction is known as the rolling friction. Is, if the two bodies are such a way that one body is going to roll over the other body, football window, and it rolls over the floor, or it is going to roll over the ground, so that there is some contact is present, there is some frictional force is going to develop, and that frictional force is known as a rolling friction. These are the three types of friction there: static friction, kinetic friction, and rolling friction. And now we are going to see about these different types of frictions in detail. The first one that is known as a static friction. What is this static friction? As I told, it is the force which is going to keep the body at rest when the external force is going to act over the body. There is some external force is going to act over the body, so that what happens there is some force is going to develop, and that force is known as a static friction. And hence we are going to say the friction which keeps the body at rest when it is acted upon by an external force. The external one force act agtandu aವಾಗ ಏನಾಗುತ್ತೆ ಆ ಬಾಡಿ ರೆಸ್ಟ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಇರುತ್ತೆ, and there is some force is going to act between the two surfaces which are in contact, and that force is nothing but static friction. Static ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿದ್ರೆ ಏನು? ಬಾಡಿ ರೆಸ್ಟ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಇರುವಂತದ್ದು. And here we are going to say the person tries to pull the object over the surface. The object into ಇದನ್ನ pull ಮಾಡ್ಲಿಕ್ಕೆ try ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದಾನೆ. That means there is an external force is going to act over this body such a way that the external force is going to act in this direction. Directionally external force act ಆಗ್ತಾ ಉಂಟು. This is the force which is acting externally. At the same time, what happens there is some force is going to act is in the opposite direction that opposes the relative motion, and hence what happens there the body is in the state of the rest only, and this force which is going to act here that is known as the static friction. You know, static friction anta kariteve. And there is some limit. That means as you are going to increase this external force and now increase ಮಾಡಿದ ಹಾಗೆ ಏನಾಗುತ್ತೆ, at certain moment this body start to move from its position. It start to move. That means that body is going to lose the state of rest there, and hence there is a certain maximum static friction only we can observe here. As we are going to increase this external force at a certain state, what was there? the body start to move from its position, and hence you are going to say it loses its property of the rest there, or the states of rest, and hence what happens there, it start to move. That means up a certain maximum external force only, that body exhibits the state of the rest. And hence we can define a quantity which is known as the limiting frictional force. What is this limiting frictional force? How it is defined? The maximum force of a friction up to which the body remains at the state of rest, which is known as the limiting frictional force, or it is known as a limiting friction. It is the maximum force of the static friction up to which the body remains at the state of rest. That is known as the limiting friction. The maximum force of static friction up to which the body remains at rest, which is known as the limiting friction. And we can explain here with the help of a diagram. There is a surface, floor ಆಗಿರಬಹುದು, over which I am going to place an object, and now we are going to push that object with certain force. There is some external force is going to act. There is some external force is going to act. Let us say there is an external force that is of 5 Newton. There is a force of 5 Newton is going to act on this surface or on this body. So that what happens here, this body is in the state of the rest. Imagine. ಯಾಕೆ ರೆಸ್ಟ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಇರುತ್ತೆ? There is some force is going to develop in between that horizontal direction, which is horizontal component of the contact force there, and this force which is going to develop here, that is known as a static frictional force. It is a static frictional force. That is Fs. Let us say. And this static frictional force and this external force which is acting here, they are equal to each other. They are acting in the opposite direction. That is why what happens there, that body is in the state of the rest. There is no vertical motion also we are going to observe. Why it is? There is some force is going to act in the vertically upward direction, which is the vertical component of the contact force. That is the normal reaction, and there is some force is going to act in the downward direction, which is the weight of the body, or it is the gravitational force, that is mg. This W and N are equal to each other, and this F and Fs are equal. That is why the body is in the state of the rest, and hence we are going to say its velocity is equal to 0. Now, if it is, I am going to increase this force. I'm going to make this force, external force, as 6 Newton. 6 Newton force ಅಂತ ಕೊಡ್ತೇನೆ. ಆವಾಗಲೂ ಕೂಡ ಏನಾಗುತ್ತೆ, the body is in the state of rest. In the state of the rest, velocity is equal to 0. ಆಗ್ಲಿಕ್ಕೆ ಹೋಗಿ static friction force ಏನಾಗಿದೆ, that also becomes equal to 6 Newton. And let us say I'm going to make this force as 7 Newton. As I'm going to make this force as 7 Newton, at the time we are going to observe there is a movement of this body. The body start to move here. It is going to lose its property of the rest, and hence you are going to say that velocity is not equal to 0 when we are going to apply a force of 7 Newton. ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿದ್ರೆ, if this 4 Newton is applied, 3 Newton is applied, at the time we are not going to observe any movement. When you are going to apply a force of 7 Newton, then we are going to observe there is a movement of that body, and hence we are going to say that maximum force of the static friction up to which the body remains in the state of the rest, that is equal to 6 Newton in this case, and this value represents this Fs max, or it is going to represent the limiting frictional force here. The example so that we can say that is how to distinguish this 7 and 6 Newton here. 7 Newton apply ಮಾಡಿದಾಗ ಏನಾಗುತ್ತೆ, body loses its property of the rest there, or the state of rest. When you are going to apply 6 Newton, maximum force ಅನ್ನು ಕೊಟ್ಟು ಹೋಗಿದ್ರು, ಆವಾಗ ಏನಾಗುತ್ತೆ, the body is in the state of the rest only, and hence it is the limiting frictional force. The next thing under this static friction, we are going to define a quantity which is known as the coefficient of static friction, which is going to depend on the nature of the two bodies which are in contact. How it is defined? The ratio of limiting frictional force to the normal reaction. ಈಗ ಹೇಳಿದ್ದೇವೆ limiting friction ಅಂತ. Ratio of this limiting frictional force and normal reaction, which is known as the coefficient of friction or the coefficient of static friction. If it is, I'm going to consider the equation here. The coefficient of static friction mu s is equals to Fs max, which is limiting frictional force, that is divided by n. N ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಏನು? Normal reaction. And hence we can say about maximum static frictional force, Fs max is equal to mu s into n. The formula for this limiting of friction or maximum static frictional force is Fs max is equals to mu s into n. Mu s is known as a coefficient of static friction. This is about one type of the friction, that is the static friction. Okay, thank you. And in the next session, we are going to say about the remaining types of friction and about centripetal force. Thank you once again.